Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. Today we're just going to talk about these two keyboards right here. So you got the K100 Air and the G915. I've had this one since about February and I just picked this one up. So we'll talk about, what I like about them, which one I think you should get. And one of these two is a waste of time, in my opinion, of course. All right. So like I said, one of these keyboards is a complete waste of time. And again, that's my opinion. But let's go ahead. I'm going to start with what I like about two of them. Both premium feeling keyboards. Both look nice. RGB is nice. Customization, we'll get into all that. I'm going to keep this video. My goal is to keep it less than 5 minutes long. So let's start with the, there's one little thing that I don't like about the G915, especially when you compare this keyboard to the Corsair K100 Air. And I'm going to see if my mic picks it up, but there's like a little rattle in the keys. So you can hear that little rattle there, and it just kind of is like a tacky feeling for a $250 keyboard. So if they can get that under control, I think it would be off to better, greener pastures. It's also a little bit older of a keyboard, so this one, I don't remember the year specifically that it was released. So there's some technologies that definitely date it. If you look right here, you've got micro USB right there instead of USB-C. That's antiquated technology in its own right. So no one's really using that. So hopefully they release something that works a little bit better. What I do like about it, the keys, let me turn it off real quick. I got my computer running in the background. Of course, they both have Bluetooth. They both have similar technologies, which is why I'm even making this video. But the keys are very clicky, very loud, but very responsive. So as soon as you rest your finger, you can kind of hover and feel the keycap shake a little bit, which could be a negative, but I think of it as more of a positive. But yeah, you kind of hover, you can kind of, but when you go to click, it's very responsive. It's been that way since I got it. Nothing ever changed. The feet are decent too. You get two little sets here. You can do like the shorter stand there, or you can go the way I use it and extend it all the way. So that right there. All right. Now let's talk about this other one. This keyboard is about, I'd say 60%, 70% lighter than the G915. The slipstream receiver is great. What I hate about this keyboard is the software. Now, not necessarily Corsair IQ, but the way it works. So when you go to actually do your keybinds, not necessarily keybinds, that's the wrong way to say it, but your when you go to set up your macros on this keyboard, it is a pain in the ass. It's actually easier if you just hold the home button or the lock button for 2 seconds and program it yourself. So that's one thing that off the bat I recognized and I didn't like it. Keys are a little bit more stiff. The computer that this is connected to is already off, but they're significantly quieter, right? So they're way quieter. Now, the downside I'll say is that with these little stiff keys and the lower travel distance, if you have your microphone on your desk, it's going to create a lot of vibration. So on the Logitech, you don't really get that because it responds like right away. And this isn't less responsive. I don't want to give the perception that it is. It's just that you press down and you actually will feel the vibration on the desk. You see it. The camera won't pick it up because I got my lapel mic on, so it won't pick it up. It is what it is. You'll just have to take my word for it. But I was like, okay, yeah, you're not going to hear the annoying clickety clackety on stream. But again, the downside to it is if your microphone is on the desk, that's going to be your problem. And my second big piece was the software, right? Programming the macros, half the time didn't work for me. When you go to Launch IQ, it'll find the slipstream adapter, which is the USB adapter, but it won't actually find the keyboard until you hardwire it in. So what's the point? So you're going to have to hardwire it in to make any of the hardware changes. Both keyboards have great onboard memory, so you can set it one time and then forget it. One thing, huge for me, huge, because I use my G keys right here for all my saving, my save picture, save clip, all that type of stuff. We're probably going to run over 5 minutes, by the way. So I'm going to stop rushing. But yeah, anyways, These are your G keys right here, right above your number pad. So if I can get it in, yeah. So you got your G1, G2, G3, G4. It's one less key, but I only use the first two anyways. And the reason I only use the first two on my Logitech is another huge advantage to the Logitech keyboard. When you hold, let's say for instance, I'm holding Shift, and my keybinds for my recording is Shift on AMD cards is Shift, Alt, and plus on the number pad. So it's a combination of three. Well, on the Corsair, it doesn't recognize, like, you have to program all three as a macro. And when it does save to the board, then you can click G1, 2, or 3, or 4, and it will work. But on the Logitech, I could just hold Shift, and then I have Alt plus as my G1 key, and I could hold Shift myself, click G1, and it will work. It recognizes a key that is utilized in combination with your G keys. So to me, that's another win. It's heavier, of course, right? So it's heavier. The last bit, and then I'll cut this video off and give you my overall thoughts. The last bit is that the Corsair has a delay when it falls asleep. So right now, both keyboards are awake. Actually, the Logitech already went to sleep. So, but as soon as I click a button, that same button press responds. So it wakes up not only the keyboard, but it actually accepts that button press, which is big for when I log into Windows, because I usually just hit, up arrow or hit enter, and then I start hitting my passcode to get in. But on the Corsair, there's a delay. So you actually have to hit the key again, and then you can start entering your code, right? Or if you fell asleep, maybe you went to get a drink and you were typing something, you actually have to wake up the keyboard. It connects within a second. So it's not like this crazy, it's really a first world issue. But after being used to just immediately resuming, yeah, that became a problem for me, right? So that's one thing I really didn't like. The actual I guess that could be the hardware if you think about it. The hardware, the delay, in that you can't use one of your macros in conjunction with another key. So that's a problem. Hardware wise, it felt good other than the stiff keys. I felt myself pressing a little harder, and maybe it's in my head, but I felt like I was a little bit slower using this keyboard in comparison to the G915. And it could just be because as soon as you hover, go ahead and close these. As soon as you hover over here, if you can hear it, it's like ready to go, right? Versus the actual press. Now, you could look at it, if you were getting a keyboard, this is going to be my overall thoughts. If you were getting an all-in-one overall keyboard, this is going to be your daily driver. You're not a competitive gamer. You just want a very nice, clean, lightweight keyboard. This will probably be your better choice. Super expensive. Do you want to spend $280 on it? Probably not. There's probably other keyboards that could do it just as well. But again, this reminds me a lot of my MacBook keyboard. And with the keys being spread out the way they are, they're kind of like concave. So it's kind of like curving in. And each time you put your finger over a key, it actually goes into that groove. So it feels nice, and it feels like it could be an accurate typer. But overall, I'm going to end up returning this and just picking up another one. Right? So it's just not going to work for me. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just, I don't like it. So overall, these high-end keyboards, you're definitely going to want to go with the G915, in my opinion, if my opinion matters to you. Connectors, more or less the same. Oh, last other piece is I like the extenders, and the Logitech comes with a USB extender. So it's just an open USB on one end, and then you put the light speed adapter into it, and then you can bring it closer to your mouse, right? So I had that like somewhere under my monitor. So that was like a small thing, but it came with an extender USB cable. So, and it still looks nice. Yeah, but that's it. That's it. One of them is $250, the other is $280. Both are expensive, but both are on sale right now. Amazon has the 915 for like $160, and I want to say Best Buy or Amazon both have the K100 Air for $200. So If you're in the market for a really strong keyboard, that's what I think about the two of them. And when you search up issues for the Corsair, that's one of the main things that you'll find. And for some weird reason, I find that a lot of people lose the dongle on the Logitech. It's just people weird, peopling. Oh, last thing, I said last thing like 8 times. For those of you that do kind of want this, of course, this is the Corsair one. There's a housing, because I was just talking about that dongle. There's a housing for the dongle, so if you travel a lot, you can go ahead and do that. For those people that like to customize keyboards, you can't customize the K100. I think there is a way to do it, but you got to be a pro at it. It's not my field. Don't really care to customize keyboards. So you can't remove the keycaps. What's on there is what's on there. On the Logitech, you can remove the keycaps, and you can swap it out for different things if you'd like. So that was one thing that somebody was mentioning in the comments, was like, hey, if it gets dirty, you're kind of stuck, right? Or if a keycap is like oily and worn over the years, you can't really do anything else. All right. Hopefully this helps. I'll put a affiliate link to both in the description, depending on which one you want to get. And let me see if I got it ready. No, I don't have it here. They don't even sell it anymore. I got like a $50 knockoff Logitech, and it works really well, but I can't find it. I'm in the learning room, so I can't even link it. It was just another one that super basic, not RGB. It was just white lights. But the responsiveness felt very close to the Logitech, and it was only like $50. But again, they don't make it anymore, so I was just gonna see if I found something like it. All right. Hopefully it helps. Catch you on the flip. Be easy.